What's going on, everybody? Today we will be talking about the Muppets and them coming to Rock and Roller Coaster and a new re-theme coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios next year. We're going to be looking into everything we know about the attraction, and I'll be giving my thoughts on how I feel about this new attraction too. So I hope you all enjoy. Let's get into it. So how do we get to this point, and why are we getting Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets? Well, there are a few factors that went into this, and without this stuff happening, we would not be getting Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. And the first thing is Aerosmith. Aerosmith is one of the most legendary bands out there. They've been associated with Rock and Roller Coaster ever since the attractions opened in 1999. And just because of how time works, with the new generation, they're not as popular today. And I knew that at some point, either if it was a new band, a new type of music, or an IP like the Muppets or a Marvel attraction, I knew Rock and Roller Coaster was on its way out at some point. I just didn't know when. And along with Aerosmith not being as popular as it was today, some members of the band also were involved in some controversial stuff in recent years. So I'm sure Disney wasn't a fan of that, especially because they starred in one of their most popular theme park attractions. So I'm sure Disney has been looking into ways to re-theme Rock and Roller Coaster for a while now. And then the last thing is the closing of Muppet Vision 3D on June 7, 2025. Of course, they announced this Rock and Roller Coaster re-theme with the Muppet Vision closing announcement. And if you don't know what Muppet Vision was, it was one of the most popular shows in Disney history, in my opinion. And some fans really liked it. I did myself. I was there on closing day. And it was the last work of Jim Henson. That was the last project he ever worked on. So with Muppet Vision 3D officially closing for the Monsters, Inc. land, Disney announced that Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith would be re-themed to Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. Now, recently, Disney actually shared a good bit of information on the story of this ride, what it would look like, and what the ride would consist of. And I'll say, I actually don't mind it. I know a lot of people aren't happy about this change, but as a fan of the Muppets and as a fan of Rock and Roller Coaster, I really don't mind this change, honestly. So they shared two pieces of concept art. The first one shows what the exterior of the new ride will look like, and not much is changing other than the iconic guitar that is currently outside of Rock and Roller Coaster. It will be staying red, but they will be putting a new design over it just to make it look like the Muppets were all over it. And then one of the keys were painted gold as an Easter egg to Dr. Teeth. So I don't mind what they're doing with the guitar. I like that they're keeping that around. And then they're also keeping the ride poster on the left, and they're just changing it from Aerosmith to the Muppets. And they've already showed us what that poster will look like in concept art they shared when they announced the new attraction. And then as you can see in the second piece of concept art, we have new animatronics. We'll be getting new animatronics in Rock and Roller Coaster, which in my opinion is an upgrade because this one has 0 animatronics. And I always like to see new animatronics. And this piece of concept art actually gets me very excited. I'm very excited to see this in person. This looks like a pretty cool scene. This takes place where the current pre-show is for Rock and Roller Coaster. And as you can see, the penguins will be returning, either if they're reused from Muppet Vision or new animatronics. I don't know. I'm going to say there'll be new animatronics, but either one's a possibility. And we'll also be getting a Scooter animatronic, as lots of the ride's story revolves around him. As you can see behind them, we have the Electric Mayhem, who are on the screen that Aerosmith currently is on. And next to them, you can also see Kermit and Miss Piggy on screens. Personally, I think this scene looks amazing, and if they do what the concept art shows, I think it'll be a really cool pre-show and one that people are definitely going to enjoy, and one that guests are going to be really excited to see when they come in the queue of Rock and Roller Coaster. Now, what the story says is that the Electric Mayhem will be headlining their biggest Hollywood show ever. The only thing is the band's not there. Meanwhile, we're on a VIP tour of G-Force Records, which will be sticking around from the old Rock and Roller Coaster, and the band needs to get to the show. So with the help of Muppet Labs and a very fast limousine, we will be taking a ride across Hollywood with the Electric Mayhem to get to their show. So as you can see, the storyline is pretty much the same as it is with the current Rock and Roller Coaster. G-Force Records is sticking around, and you have to take a high-speed limousine across town to the show, which I don't mind. It's an iconic ride, and the story is kind of iconic too, and it's very easy for the average guest to understand. As rides like maybe Rise of the Resistance or Flight of Passage, the story might not be as easy to understand. But for this, it'll be a very straight to the point story, so I don't mind that. And overall, I'm excited for this attraction. The Muppets haven't gotten anything new in the parks for a while now, and I think they do need some more representation in the parks, especially because their whole land just got demolished. So I'm excited for this. Let me know how you guys feel about this change. I think it's a very good change. I'm excited to experience this in person when it opens. And the current Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith will be open through the end of the year and will be closing sometime in 2026. And then later that year, Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets will debut on Sunset Boulevard at Disney's Hollywood Studios. But with that, that is all for today's video. If you haven't already, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this on the channel. With that, from the setup, hope you all have an amazing day. God bless. I'll see y'all next time.